On the highway, blinding snow, an hour north of Montreal.
The famous have made his music famous. Marc Jordan has written hits for performers like Rod Stewart, Natalie Cole, Bette Midler, Diana Ross, Jeff Healey, and Amanda Marshall. Accomplishments that have overshadowed his work as a recording artist, but he has made at least 8 of his own critically acclaimed albums, and he's been singled out twice at the Juno Awards. Now, Marc Jordan has a new album, This Is How Men Cry. I would like to welcome Marc Jordan. You're one of these people, it's hard. You got to get everything in.
Yeah,
Because you're
so
doing
much,
it.
so many years.
Yeah, we should explain why we were laughing. We're psychologically analyzing. I confessed I thought I had a touch of attention deficit disorder.
Yeah, well, I'm dyslexic and I can't spell, and my wife is always correcting my lyrics. And
Once you come to terms with it.
well, you have to.
Yeah, it's fine, and you can succeed, as you have.
Thank you.
I was going through all your stuff, and I knew that you wrote songs for famous people, and I had no idea how many you have done.
Yeah, it's astonishing to me, actually, when I look back and just look at the list. It's a lot of people.
How did you do that? What was a time, like, do you write songs for yourself and then somebody else records them?
Well,
I mean,
that's
when do
what
you try
I always
to,
do.
yeah.
You know, there are 2 types of songwriters. There are people that kind of work for publishers, and they say, you know, so-and-so is looking for, Madonna's looking for a song, and the guys are going to write a Madonna song. Well, I never really had that ability. So I just had to keep myself in mind, and I always wrote songs for myself, even when I didn't have record deals. They were songs that in my mind, they were songs that I would record.
They had to come out.
And then, you know, they'd go into the big publisher's pile, and artists would, you know, pick through them. And
Pick through them is kind of like looking for an outfit.
yeah, well, it is an outfit.
It is an outfit, and it can make or break you.
Yeah.
What does it take, like, so you don't consider the other person at all?
Well, I don't, but because to me, it has to be true. There has to be some truth to the lyric, and I really can't get into someone else's head or, you know, or life. You know, I don't really know enough about a lot of these artists to really get into what their headspace is. So I know who I am, and so that's how I write.
What's the first big song you sold to somebody? What's the first big song somebody?
Diana Ross.
Diana Ross. And what was that?
It was a song called Pieces of Ice. And it didn't do that well. You know, it did okay. But it was a wonderful, she sang it at one of the first concerts she did in Central Park.
Wow.
And I remember it was when the rain was that big.
Yeah, that big, got
yeah,
a lot of publicity.
Yeah, so she did.
Were you there?
I wasn't there. I watched
No.
it on television.
Does it
I
feel-
watch everything on television. I don't really take part in life at all.
Did it feel wonderful?
Was
Was
great.
it different?
Yeah, and the first time I heard it, I was living in L.A. and it came on the radio. I remember when I was on Sunset Boulevard, and I just went, oh, you know, okay, strike me dead now. I've had enough life. This is good.
Now, how hard is it to perform yourself when everybody else, like you lead a dual existence?
Yeah,
How tough is that?
it's easy.
Is it?
Yeah, it's easy because I find that I do demos of all these songs, and mostly, especially in the last 10 years, the artists that record my stuff kind of copy the way I did it.
Yeah.
And which is flattering, but that makes it easier for me to go out and do that song, and I don't have to change it too much.
No. Rod Stewart. Do you meet these people?
I've
when
never
you do
met
them?
Rod.
No.
Never met him. He's
So you
doing
wrote
2
the-
more of my songs on his
2
next record.
more?
Yeah, and I've never met him. Never met him.
How? That's kind of odd, isn't it?
It is odd. I've had meetings with him set
Yeah.
up, and for some
Just
reason
didn't
I
work
had to
out.
leave town, or he was sick, or you know.
The Rhythm of My Heart you wrote for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a huge hit for him.
Huge hit. It was bigger than Maggie May. That song.
Yeah. Well, how does that feel? I mean, Rod.
Well, it's exciting because I grew up listening to him, you know, on a stereo that my friend Rory Forbes built, and a little Heath kit, and we'd put on Rod Stewart records with the Small Faces, and you know, and it's just totally amazing now that, you know.
Who would, and do you think of that? Because sometimes I have people on the show and
I
they're
do.
famous. I remember being in somebody's basement when they were playing and then they're sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
And then you can't believe it. And you do.
You can't believe it. And, you know, I'm starting to, my wife makes me do this, actually. I'm starting to try to appreciate everything that's happened to me in my life because I've been very, very lucky.
Yes. You have
Lucky.
to do that.
You do.
And you have to remember the moments.
Yeah, you do. And you can let life go by and not think about it, but it's good to
And there's
appreciate.
a time, I think, where it was, you don't want to think about stuff because then you think you might jinx it or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm
You're
so
over that.
old now.
Oh, yeah. Let's forget it. Let's put the others aside. Let's talk about you. Let's take a little peek of you performing very recently from your new album.
Crazy, crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling.
We were just saying that was my all-time favorite song, and I won a media lip sync contest singing that.
It's a great song.
Wait, how did you did you know that song for a long time? Because if I was a singer, I would have to record Crazy.
Everybody should record Crazy.
They should.
And I think a lot of people have, too.
But it's a hard song to do.
It's
You were very intense there.
Yeah, well, I kind of changed the melody to suit
Yeah.
myself. But I, you know, heard that song when I was in grade 1. I heard it on my brother's portable radio. I took it to school and I turned it on at recess, and that was the first song I heard on this. And it's always stuck with me, and I've become, you know, a big Patsy Cline fan.
Patsy Cline.
But it works as a jazz song too. That song, because it has the changes are very interesting in that song.
Yeah. Now, do you dabble in all? I mean, music has changed so much that you can kind of pick things up now and add new
Well, I think
disciplines that you couldn't before.
we're living in an eclectic time, I think, where anything, there's a lot of cross-pollination. Anything can sort of work with anything now.
Yeah. That's a great freedom, though. It hasn't always been in
is
the
a great
business for so
freedom.
long. It's a
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
thing, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, radio formats are stricter, but there's more types of formats
Yeah.
now. And I think there's a lot more freedom. I think the internet is changing things.
Do you love to perform?
I wouldn't say I love it. I get nervous when I'm just starting out, because I don't do it a hell of a lot. You know, I don't play all the time. My wife Amy plays a lot more than I
Amy
do.
Sky's been on the show.
Yeah, yeah. And but after I've done a few shows, I feel good. I feel good.
Yeah. You put it aside for a while. Is it hard when you go back out there? Because you're the guy who writes
Yeah.
the big songs?
Yeah. But after I get over my nervousness, I'm initially nervous,
Yeah.
you know, and then then I love it. You know, I like being there, and I'm very controlling, and I like to exert myself.
Is there a time where you just want to do it all for you?
What do you mean by that?
Well, not right for the other people anymore. But I mean, would you just like to do it for yourself?
Yeah, but I sort of do it for myself.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, hog it all for yourself. Record it all yourself.
yeah. Well, but
Get all
you know,
the-
I actually
yeah.
write too much for me. I mean, I write more songs in a year than I could ever record.
Do you?
Yeah.
Every day?
I write just about every day.
Wow. And you've got them all kind of stockpiled, like outfits, as we
Yeah, I have them all alphabetically arranged in my closet.
And you can pull them out for any
Any
occasion.
I have a song for any occasion.
Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to talk about how you selected the songs. Here, hang on. We're talking with Marc Jordan. We'll both be here, so join us.